All right, veterans slamming the New York Times after the editorial board chooses Memorial Day weekend to ask why the U.S. military celebrates white supremacy. As we honor our fallen heroes, was this really the right time for this? That's the question this morning. Joining me now to talk about it, Democratic political analyst Kelly Hyman and Republican strategist Chris Prudhomme. Guys, thanks for coming on. We appreciate it. Chris, I want to start with you, and let's look at a quick excerpt from this op-ed in the New York Times. The federal government embraced pillars of the white supremacist movement when it named military bases in the South for men who sought to destroy the Union in the name of racial injustice. These bases are an insult to the ideals servicemen and women are sworn to uphold, an embarrassing artifact of the time. There may be a point to be made here, Chris, but making it on Memorial Day weekend, what do you make of that?
Look, first of all, I think politics have gotten absolutely ridiculous. To attempt to diminish our men and women who have been fighting, who have lost their lives, and those who are currently serving now. Over 1.2 million have died since World War II. This is absolutely ridiculous. Now is not the time to even be discussing this matter, to even try to lower the value of our service members who have fought so hard and have done so much. Look, our country has come a long way. Okay, the military is now more diverse than ever. Look at Shea Nelson, the first Thunderbird Air Force black officer. You have General Charles Brown, who's actually up now to be the Air Force Chief of Staff. President Trump nominated him. President Trump also has nominated the first black female general in the United States Marine Corps. So to be saying these type of negative, fallacious comments absolutely makes no sense. It's time out for this nonsense. This is Memorial Day. We have many soldiers who have fought valiantly, and they deserve to be respected and given much more value than
Kelly,
this.
Chris says this is ridiculous to put this op-ed in the paper on Memorial Day weekend. How do you respond to that?
Well, and today for Memorial Day, we honor people that have fought and given their lives for our country. And for that, we are very thankful and give utmost gratitude towards them. And we have to remember that a significant amount of people that fight in our military are African American and fight and die for our country. And I think racism is important for us to discuss about it and consider it, that we have these military bases and we should really consider thinking about renaming them.
A tweet here from the Pentagon spokesperson going after the New York Times for choosing this particular weekend to run this story. The New York Times chose to attack the U.S. military, the most diverse meritocracy in the country and the most powerful force for good in the world, in world history. We have many stories of valor still waiting to be told this Memorial Day weekend. Went on to say, Chris, the New York Times has more than 1 million stories of the ultimate sacrifice, talking about the more than 1 million, 1.2 million people that have died for this country. But they chose to tell this story. Is that fair?
So of course, absolutely. Absolutely not. This is absolutely ridiculous. The fact that they even want to attack our service members in this type of agenda is utterly, absolutely ridiculous. And it really actually disgusts me, because let's really be honest, this is about politics. This has nothing to do with our service members. And to have people who have lost their lives, and literally, and I really want people to understand this, not just look at it from a political story or talking about it, literally genuinely understand what I'm simply saying, what we're talking about here. There are individuals right now, in other countries who are literally dodging bullets. This is literally so hurtful. It literally is hurtful. They're literally, as we're speaking right now, dodging bullets, potential security threats, whether it be landmines, whether it be on guard as we speak, can be shot at any given time, literally. And we have the audacity to say something so salacious and negative like this. This is absolutely, utterly ridiculous.
Chris, you make a good point. Kelly, there's a lot of veterans reacting. We've got the tweets, showing people that are very upset by this. Is this a story that should have been run a different time? Maybe run this next week. And on Memorial Day weekend, should the Times have focused on telling positive stories about what the military has done for this country?
You know what? I think it's always good to talk about positive stories, and especially to thank our military that give the ultimate sacrifice, their life, and thank them. But I think it's also important that we discuss racism in our country and deal with it as well.
Okay. Fair enough. Guys, thank you so much for coming on. We appreciate the debate. Jillian, over to you.
Thank you.
Thanks.